Good morning and happy Saturday, everyone. Thanks for joining me a little bit early this week. My name is Chris. We usually do Simply Saturday cooking at about 11 o'clock. And this weekend, Paul and I are going on a little adventure today. So we're starting a little bit early this morning. So if you're joining me now, thank you for joining me now. And if you're watching me later, thanks for watching me later. Again, my name is Chris. The live feed is being brought to you by Moses Lake Grocery Outlet. So I always like to start out Simply Saturday cooking by letting you guys know that the only place I shop is the grocery outlet. My husband and I do own the store, but I just don't have time to get out there and go into a million and one different grocery stores. And so everything you see me cooked, unless I tell you differently, has come from the grocery outlet. So I will try to remember as we go through this today to kind of give you some, if I can remember them, some prices and some locations in the store. But anyway, like I said, Paul and I are going on a little adventure today. So I'm coming to you a little live. And because we're going on an adventure a little early this morning, I thought it would be fun to do breakfast burritos. We can eat them in the car, we can get started, and they're fun and easy to do. I know a lot of you guys posted yesterday and shared with me some of the things that you like to put in your breakfast burritos. I'm going to do a Denver omelet version of a breakfast burrito this morning. So if you're joining me live today, give me a shout out, tell me hello, let me know where you're watching from, let me know when the last time it was that you shopped in the store, or tell me what you like to put in your breakfast burritos. Just let me know that you're out there listening. Good morning, Robert. It's nice to see you. And you always want what I'm cooking. It's nice to know that someone watches regularly. Anyway, so I'm going to do a Denver omelet version of a breakfast burrito. So I'm going to put in ham and cheese and onion and green peppers. The things that I love about breakfast burritos is that you can actually make the filling ahead of time. So if you were going to have to be on the road early in the morning, you could do your filling the night before, and then you just get up in the morning, heat everything or heat your tortilla up, throw your filling into it and heat it up in the microwave, and you're good to go. Or you could do this, make up a big batch ahead of time on the weekend, and the kids could have breakfast burritos all week long. So there's lots of fun stuff that you can do with breakfast burritos, and they're yummy and they're filling. So let's go ahead and get started today. This is probably going to be quick and easy. Who doesn't really know how to make a breakfast burrito, right? But you're going to turn your fry pan. I have a little fry pan over here. I'm going to turn my heat on to about medium and warm it up. And I'm just going to add about a tablespoon or so of butter to that pan to let it melt down for a minute. You could also use cooking spray or, olive oil or vegetable oil, whatever kind of oil you like to cook with. I just am a sucker for eggs made in butter. So, oh, look, I rhymed this morning. Anyway, so we're off for an adventure today, which I already said, but one of my favorite things about doing road trips or going on adventures is when you visit places that you've never been before. I jokingly say I want to eat my way through the USA, which is actually maybe not a joke. I love food. I love good food. So it's always nice to go into a new place and eat where the locals eat. So usually when Paul and I are traveling, good morning, honey. He's watching from the store today. Thanks for chiming in. Usually when Paul and I travel, we will ask the hotel clerk if you had family from out of town that had never been here before, where would you take them? You would be amazed, you guys. You get the best places to eat. You get the best places for, touring and seeing what's kind of going on. You get the best night spots. Ask your locals where they like to go and what they like to do. That's my travel tip for the day. Paul and I travel quite a bit in the summertime. We like to camp and so in the summer we tend to be on the go a lot, and we love to go into little tiny towns we've never been in before and ask those questions. And we've seen some pretty cool things, from huge log cabin mansions, and I'm talking mansions. I can't even fathom how this thing was built, to you know, little tiny I don't know. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Gorgeous waterfalls, places that, you know, kind of off the beaten path that you're not going to find on a Yelp or a Google. You may find them on Google if you're looking for them, but you have to know what to look for first, right? So it's always kind of fun for us to do that. So I already have my ham diced up. I'm going to throw this in my little fry pan and get it warming through. And I'm going to put that in with, actually, I'm just going to put all this in here. I'm going to make a big batch, because we can always use it tomorrow. And I'm going to throw in my onions and my green peppers as well. And we're going to just get everybody sauteed and soft in there. And then in another fry pan, I'm going to add a little bit of vegetable oil and on a little bit higher heat. Put my vegetable oil in here. Almost poured it on that plate instead of into the fry pan. That wouldn't have been very smart. And you guys, I love to cook, but I'm a real life cook. I make mistakes and I do crazy things, and heavens, this week I even burnt rice. Who burns rice? Anyway, I did it. It's possible. And to this, I'm just adding, I had a little bit of leftover frozen O'Brien potatoes, which you get in the freezer section at the grocery outlet. This is like Paul and I's go-to every weekend potato. So we always have them on hand, and we don't always carry them at the store. They kind of come in and they go out. So when I see them and we have them, then I always make sure I pick up 2 or 3 packages of them. And I can't remember off the top of my head how much those are. So while I've got everything kind of jiving and cooking over here, I am going to just crack 4 eggs into my little bowl. And I see some of it. Thank you guys. I have about 6 of you watching. You joined me early today. Thanks for popping in on a Saturday morning when I'm sure you had probably something better to do, but I appreciate you being here and watching. Also want to let you know, I put out a poll on Facebook this week and asked how many of you would be interested in having me write a blog with the recipes that I cook so that it was a little more easily accessible to you. And hands down, the feedback was yes, please. And so I have started the blog. I will put the link to the blog in the comments below. The recipe that I'm doing today, I will upload later to the blog. And then for those of you that were following on the Facebook page last night, I made a homemade macaroni and cheese. I'll also be blogging about that. So I have all the pictures from that, and I'll be blogging that and putting that up on the blog. So I put 4 eggs in here because it's just Paul and I today. And I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper right into my bowl. And then I use a little bit of half and half. You could use water, you could use milk, you use almond milk, whatever is your dairy of choice. And then I'm just going to give those a little mix. So they're all incorporated, all that good stuff's incorporated together. When you use a wire whisk, then you also end up giving the eggs a little bit of air, which makes them a little lighter and fluffier in your pan. So I've also had some requests this week that I do some vegetarian meals, gluten-free meals, or low sugar meals. You guys, I have to tell you, I am severely allergic to artificial sweeteners. So the sugar-free stuff, I probably won't make it, but I will tell you how to substitute for the sugar if you would like. I do use honey, maple sugar, agave, those kind of things, a little more natural sweeteners sometimes. So watch for those as well. So I'm trying to accommodate you guys in some of your requests. It may work, it may not work. We'll see how it goes. But you know what? Never hurts to ask. I would love for you to ask me if there's something special that you want to see. Please don't hesitate. Believe it or not, I actually run out of ideas eventually. So anything you guys can pop out there helps me loads. So I'm just keeping an eye on the ham and making sure, and onions and green peppers, and getting them all soft. Keeping an eye on my potatoes over here, getting them all nice and crispy. And then I'm going to make a little bit of a sour cream sriracha sauce, or not sriracha, sour cream tapatio sauce. Again, sour cream is one of those things we typically have at the store. It's ordered fresh and direct to us, so it's something that you can find often. I know you guys, grocery outlet's really a treasure hunt. You never know what you're going to find when you go in there, and I've become the queen of substitution because of that. If we don't have something, then I find something that I can substitute in its place. So if you ever are just stuck and want to know, oh, what can I substitute for this? Give me a shout out, and I'll tell you what I would do. But sour cream, so our milk, eggs, produce, meat, all that fresh and direct to us. So the varieties may vary, but we're always going to carry those things. And then I'm just going to put a couple of little drops of tapatio in there. A little tiny bit of salt, because you flavor every layer. And then I thin it out just a little bit with just a smidge of half and half. Because I want to be able to kind of drizzle this all over the top of my breakfast burritos so that the yummy, creamy, spicy goodness runs all the way through there. And I do want this sour cream to actually, you know, I don't want it to dollop. I want it, see, that's still a little too thick. I actually want it to drizzle. Such technical cooking terms. Dollop and drizzle. So where's one of your favorite places you've ever been? It can be local, it can be not local. I love to know where people have visited, where they've gone, and what they've enjoyed. Okay, that's more like it. I want to be able to just kind of, can you guys see that? I just want to be able to kind of drizzle that all over my topping once I get it onto my burrito. Okay, so our eggs are ready. Looks like our ham and green peppers and onions are about ready. Oh, I'm making a mess on my stove. Alrighty, and my potatoes are almost there. Okay, so while those finish up, I am going to get a tortilla on a plate. I do buy the big flour breakfast, or the big flour tortillas. What are they? The large burrito tortillas. But you could certainly put those, if you don't like the flour tortillas, you could certainly put them into a small corn tortilla, or I think we even carry the little bit larger corn tortillas. You could do, well, if you really wanted to, I guess you could put this mixture in between a English muffin as well if you didn't want to do a wrap. Or it's really good just as a scramble and all by itself if you're doing low carb. So the burritos make it really easy though, because I'll go ahead and I'll make up these burritos and Paul won't be home for a little bit yet. And then when he gets home, you just pop them in you put a damp paper towel around them, pop them back in the microwave for about 30 seconds. They're all heated up and fresh and ready to go. So these are really fun. I like to do kind of a similar version of this, and I'll share that recipe with you guys probably this summer. I do a similar version of this where I use, I do a turkey ranch bacon wrap. They're great for taking out on the boat, if you have a boat, or in your camping with you, whatever. You just put everything in the tortilla and roll it up, put a damp paper towel around it, put it in a plastic bag, and then you're off for the day. So there's very little, then you have very little to pack in and pack out, so to speak. So that's always fun. I'll share that recipe with you guys later on this spring when we're all looking to do picnic stuff and be outside. I don't know about you guys, but I cannot wait for the snow to melt. I should be planting my garden, not looking at white stuff on my lawn. Okay, these potatoes are done. So I am just going to add them right into this mixture. Kind of a everybody in the pool type deal. I'll set that back there. Hot pan. Turn my burner off. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat down on this to about a medium low. I find that a lot of my family tends to cook the eggs a little too hot, and I'm not a big fan of, I want a nice yellow creamy egg, and I'm not a big fan of it being browned on the bottom. So if you turn your heat down just a little bit when you put your eggs in and give them a quick stir, then you won't get that browning of the egg. And then in goes the egg. And I kind of stir it and mix it through here so that everybody's kind of incorporated. And then I just kind of let it hang out in the pan for a few minutes. Well, probably not minutes, but seconds. The less you stir an egg, the more tender it is and the more fluffy it will be. So people have a tendency to overmix their eggs. And if you're looking for a light, fluffy egg, then you have to be gentle with them. All right. And then I just kind of fold, because when you heat on the bottom and then you fold eggs over, then they kind of cook, it helps them cook right through. And then I just push them out again. We'll let them hang out. Paul wanted me to remind you guys too, if you haven't signed up for your groceries for a year giveaway, make sure when you visit the store this week that you get an entry form and sign up. One lucky winner is going to win $600 worth of groceries, $50 a month for 12 months. So be sure when you're visiting the store this week that you ask your cashier for a entry form and enter to win. I believe the entries are going through the 8th of March. Paul extended it out a little bit, so if it says differently on the entry form, that's okay. You just keep entering as long as we have entries out there, and then we're going to let you guys, then we'll pick a winner on the 9th. If that changes, I will let you know. But at this point, Paul says there's not a lot of people entering, and so he wants you guys to, he's extended the time frame out and wants you guys to come on down and make sure that you enter to win the groceries for a year giveaway. What's better than free groceries, right? Okay, now we're gonna just fold this over again. And I don't know if you guys can see, but see how my eggs are nice and yellow and there's not any of that browning? This is my own little nuance and pet peeve. If you guys like your eggs with a little bit of color on them, then you cook them the way you like them. But I like I don't like them overcooked. And then I'm just gonna let them hang out one more time. We are almost to the point of turning the heat off, and then they will just continue to cook themselves. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop my tortilla in the microwave for 20 seconds. We'll show you, I guess it helps if I have it on the burner. And then I'll show you how I put this together. And we'll let you guys get on with your weekend. Thanks everyone for coming in and joining and watching today. We've had between 6 and 9 people viewing, and you guys always give me such great feedback. And for those of you that come in later and watch, I sure appreciate that you do that. Okay, so we have a nice warmed up tortilla. It makes it easy to fold. And we've got one more. There we go. Mix around the bowl. And we're going to turn our heat off. Let that set for just a second while I grab a spoon. And we'll give it another good mix. And those are perfect. Now, anytime you're doing this kind of a scramble like this, your eggs are never going to be as fluffy as what they would be if you just scrambled them by themselves. So there's a lot of stuff in there and not a lot of eggs. So and then I just take a couple of good sized spoonfuls. Put it right there in the center of my tortilla. I don't know about you guys, but I like a good stuffed tortilla. So I put lots of goodies in there. But you probably want to eat it over a plate. And then I've got some Colby Jack cheese. You can use any kind of cheese that you like. But I have some Colby Jack this morning. It's already shredded up and ready to go. So I'm just going to put that over the top of that, so it will melt. And then I'm going to dribble a little bit of this sour cream and tapatio over the top of that. Kind of works all the way through. Might still be a little bit thicker than what I would like it to be, but there we go. And then I'll move this plate over here so you guys can see a little bit better. My kids always have such a hard time folding tortillas. I don't know why, but I just fold the edges in, this one over, then you just give it a roll. You can always tuck in a couple more if you need to. And look at that, one perfect breakfast burrito. You could put a little more cheese on top and drizzle just a little more of that over the top of it. Get a fork. I know you shouldn't eat breakfast burritos with a fork, but what can we say? This morning we might be. And there you have it. One gorgeous Denver omelet breakfast burrito. You guys have a great weekend and a fabulous week. Be watching for those blog posts. And again, if you have any comments or things that you'd like to see me make or questions, please feel free to ask. And get in and get your groceries for a year giveaway entry form filled out. If you don't fill out an entry, you'll never win. And we will see you this week at the store. Have a fantabulous weekend, you guys. Bye-bye.